is going on, everybody? It is your boy Arrows, and we're here with part 3 of our potential reprint series. Today, we are talking about Into the Inklands, which, in all honesty, is probably the worst set of these three. And I know I said that about that Rise of the Floodborn wasn't as good of a set as I thought it was looking back. If you guys haven't watched my first chapter or Rise of the Floodborns, we will post both those links in the description. But man, I had to dig here because there's only Into the Inklands only had a very small amount of cards that shaped into the meta. Like I will take for example, Steel Amethyst. There's only 2 cards in this set that supplemented 3 cards that supplemented into that theme. And I don't know if a lot of those cards merit reprints. I don't understand how the minds of the people at Ravensburger work, but it was really hard to piece together stuff for this video. But we're gonna get in. We're gonna talk about it, much like the format we did for Rise of the Floodborn. Everything is separated into color. Not all of these are cards that I think will be reprinted. Some of them will be honorable mentions and cards that I think should be reprinted, but maybe they're not like as meta defining now as they were when they first came into the game. So we're going to start off with Amber. We have our boy Piglet, the Pooh Pirate Captain. He's 2 cost, 2/2, quest for 1, and I'm the captain. Well, you have 2 or more characters in play. This character gets +2. I would really like this deck this card to survive, to be reprinted, because I want to build a Amber Emerald aggro deck, and so being able to play this card on my turn 3, my turn 2, and then something else on turn 3, and rush in with some very strong early lore with stuff like the new Dual Ink Lady and a Tramp. I think that'd be really cool. I really like this. It's not in the deck build that we put out because I made that for like a rotation format. So like Shimmering Skies on. But this is a card that I definitely would like to see get reprinted for those like fast-paced, in-your-face aggro decks. I think it makes them really, really strong. And a lot of that strategy survives into the rotation, so I'd really like this to survive as well. The Bare Necessities. I would very much like discard decks to stay a thing post-rotation. I think they're a very good strategy, and I personally play a slower Lemon Lime, Mountain Dew, Amber Emerald discard deck, and I love the Bare Necessities in it. So it's a 2-cost song. So a character of 2 or higher can sing it for free. Chosen opponent reveals their hand, discards a non-character card of your choice. In card games, historically, it is also a really valuable piece of information to know what is in your opponent's hand. And I don't actually feel like there's enough cards in Lorcana that do that. And I would very much like to see the cards that do that cross over into the new upcoming tournament format. Hida is an honorable mention. I like her. I think she is really, really strong. Being able to give all characters a -3 until the start of your next turn is fantastic. With cards like Under the Sea, or now on he hurled his Thunderbolts. I think this card could be still really cool in that discard bounce outlet deck that Amber and Emerald do have, and I think this really helps us get to that point. Or even like using this with the muses on the field and singing a song, just increases your bouncing aspects. And also, spoilers for Ursula's Return, I hope that the muses get reprinted. I like the idea of the discard deck. In Lorcana, it doesn't feel as broken as discard feels in other card games, so we're here for it. Amethyst, we've only got 1, and honestly, I don't actually think it needs a reprint. But I would like to see Chernobog's Followers get reprinted. It doesn't need it. Also, honorable mention to all the Broom cards from this set. I don't have them here because I don't think they'll get reprinted, but it'd be kind of cool if they did. And same thing for the next set. honorable mention to all the Broom cards. This card doesn't need to be reprinted, but I feel like it's going to just because of how popular and meta relevant it is. Emerald, actually, this is probably Emerald's strongest set of our first like 3 sets. There was a lot of really cool and fun Emerald cards in here, stuff that I don't even have on here. Stuff like Strike a Good Match. Stuff like Cloud Kicker. There's like still a ton of stuff in here that I did not put in here. I just didn't see it meriting that reprint. Curse Merfolk, same thing with Bare Necessities. I would love to see Discard remain a strong deck going forward, and Curse Merfolk definitely helps us. Your opponent's either going to waste a damage card on it, or your opponent's going to challenge it, and you're going to get discard a card. Or they're just going to sit there and let you keep questing for 2. Morph. I like Morph because there's a huge focus on the shift mechanic in green and blue dual decks, and I think Morph could definitely still fill that requirement going forward, as it'll let you shift into anything, which is really cool. I also do kind of wish this was a Floodborn, but it is what it is. The Ursulas, I feel like, are more honorable mention than anything. I really would like to see them both be reprinted. This, like we talked about with Bare Necessities, because it's valuable information to see your opponent's hand. Sometimes getting the card out isn't the most important thing, but knowing what options your opponent has for the next couple turns is also very valuable information, even if you don't always get the card out of their hand. This Ursula, singing dual songs, is really good. I've actually always wanted to play this in my discard deck for like when we play stuff like the Bare Necessities or Sudden Chill. More cards, more card draw for John. I've just never gotten around to picking up a playset of them. And then Lyle, Tiberius, Rourke, I think deserves a reprint because it keeps your opponent it keeps aggro decks in check to an extent. If you play this character and you never quest with it, and your opponent is playing challenge or stuff that needs to get your stuff off the field, they're going to lose lore for it. You can give something reckless. You can already start stripping off some of your opponent's lore. I would really like to see this card get reprinted, but I feel like it's more of an honorable mention than anything else. I feel like out of all the Emerald cards, he is probably the least likely to get reprinted. That means he'll probably be the one that gets reprinted. Ruby and Sapphire didn't really give us a lot of strong offerings in this set. You could make a case for the Donald Duck. Was that this set or was that the next set? I feel like that might be the next set. I feel like I might be getting my my sets mixed up. Madame Medusa, well, she's an honorable mention. We have Brawl that does this too. That you can play like 3 turns earlier. We have in Ursula's Return, I'm going to talk about the Sisus. They do this but better on the same turn if you shift. So Lucky Dime is really the only good Sapphire card in the set. The only good Sapphire card that I feel merits a reprint. This lets those item decks stay super aggressive post rotation, and we're also getting a lot of cool. We also are getting a bunch of cool new cards, a bunch of cool cards. We got a bunch of cool cards in Range Far that fling items and do stuff and retrieve items. I definitely think this should survive. And honestly, it's the only Sapphire. Steel got pretty buff in this set. When you combine like into the other sets as well, the overarching. I feel like this is the set that Steel Song really started to form, because we had the Piglet, we had the Smee, we had Along Came Zeus, and we had Robin. So I feel like all 3 of these cards are very strong possibilities to get reprinted. Smee is just really good. He's a pirate. I think having this Smee in a continued format will keep that pirate deck really strong. I think pirates have a really strong potential this format, and I definitely think that this Smee keeps it really strong. And in pirates, you're almost never going to have this ability, and even if you do, dealing 1 damage to potentially quest for 2 and take something out with your 3/3 stat line is really good. Along Came Zeus falls under the same purview as Grab Your Sword, Fire the Cannon, Strength of Raging Fire. There are very minimal good damage cards post rotation. Quick Shot is fun. I like quick shot, but there's nothing that really like strikes fear into the heart of your opponent. Along Came Zeus would definitely do that. The same thing with Strength of Raging Fire from set 2 and Grab Your Sword and oh my god, what's it called? Fire the Cannons from set 1. So that's its inclusion. I really feel like a lot of these, if not all of these, Steel Song damage cards really need to still have a place in the next format. And Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood, this guy is just good. He's just really, really good. You know, when we were 3 sets in, he was, in my opinion, he was really broken. But as we started releasing more cards, he still stayed meta relevant, but he's not like the same like beast of a fox that he was in a set 3 format. I definitely feel like he is healthy. The challenge decks love him. The Steel Song decks love him. Like, for both those decks, I don't think the challenge deck needs him to stay meta relevant. The challenge deck definitely wants him to stay meta relevant, and I definitely feel like because like this with Mushu is 4 lore. This with Mushu, and if Thebes gets reprinted, that's like 8. That's like 6 lore. I definitely really like this card. Calhoun does really similar things. Calhoun has resist. Robin gets you a card draw when he leaves, but Robin just has a better stat line. And honestly, you can play him a turn later than Calhoun if you shift. So I'll also give a shout out to like the 1-drop Robin Hood from this set as well. I think if you're gonna reprint this Robin Hood, you should reprint that one as well. And that is for set 3. Like I said, out of the first 3 sets, in my opinion, this one is arguably the weakest set compared to 1 and 2. 2 gave us that wonderful Merlin Mim package and Gaston, who got really good later on. Beast, who was really strong going forward. Whereas this set just didn't really give us that factor. It added in cards that supplemented those decks. And outside of really making Steel Song a like thing, the set didn't really do too much for the meta. Like, Ruby Amethyst would have survived without Chair Lady. You could also make a statement. I haven't done any locations in these because certain locations didn't stay meta relevant for their, like, aren't meta relevant right now. Like the Queen's Castle. You don't see that in a lot of decks anymore. It's been replaced by the Library, a gift for Belle. So that's why I don't have that in there. But that's also another really strong card. But I just think the Belle recycles. If it got reprinted, why would you run it over the Library? I can't think of anything else from this set though. This set was just really, really meh all around. I don't actually think I bought a lot of this set. I ordered my dimes online. I ordered my Zeus's online. I ordered my Smees online. I don't actually think I bought a ton of cards for this set. From this set. But let me know what you guys think. Is there anything in set 3 Into the Inklands that you think deserves a reprint that maybe I didn't talk about? Of course, like I said, you could also make claims for like the Little Robin, the Little Kita, the 1-drop. But I don't think these decks die if those. I don't think these cards like are terrible if those cards don't get reprinted. But let me know what you think. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ding the notification bell if you want to be alerted to any content that we drop. We have another Final Fantasy Gunslinger in the Abyss reveals coming out, and a bunch of other things I'm really, really excited for. Stay safe out there, my friends. I will see you when I see you, and go and have some fun. Play some card games. They're always a good time. Bye.